just to the quad, and then we have the quad rendered to the window, and then we apply a shader on the quad. So you do operations like this. Admittedly, you could do the same effect without the shader, but yeah, this is just a simple showcase of that. Yeah.
Any other groups with ideas? Just to figure out what's happening. Because you should commit as early as possible, right? Because there's a considerable work going into it, hopefully. And you have limited amount of time, right? So the earlier the better.
Yeah. Someone should make a racing game.
Oh, a racing game?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can use any third-party model and so on, right? So there's no constraints there. In fact, it's probably not advisable to build your own models, but really just use models, right? That's why you learned about object loading.
Yeah.
You know some science of doing that. But be creative. I mean, just, you know. But try to commit reasonably early, because it usually takes some time to get going. Else, you can also just say, I'm doing Pac-Man, all good, right? All set, it's fine. But if you want to do the curiosity project, it's important to negotiate early to get the scope right. Yeah. So you don't do too much or too little. Because those guys knew they overscope, but they nevertheless wanted to do it. So that's also an option, but you're at risk there, right? Yeah. So suddenly your whole project falls over, and then you're, yeah.
I mean, I just found this this part of the README for our project, because we started with a minimum requirement, right? So this is what you want to have for your own project if you do the curiosity project, and then you can sort of put extra things in after a while. Which is what we did, but we sort of also wanted to. It's like we want you to have a well-defined scope as well. So just have something like this, I guess, for your project. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. You could also look at the board. Just go into the issue board and look at what's there.
Yeah.
How many people are doing Pac-Man 3D?
My team, at least.
Okay, one team. 3 people, right?
We're 2 people.
2.
We kind of want to swap the groups a bit. Low priority.
Anyone else working on Pac-Man?
So use your issue tracker extensively.
Yeah. Yes, Trello.
Yeah, that works as well.
It's fine.
I think actually the GitLab has Trello as an integration.
Right. Yes, but I'm not sure if it's activated though in this one. But maybe.
Isn't that Bitbucket?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Let's see.
Or you can probably integrate it either way.
Probably. But then again, what are the functionality that you get from Trello that you'll get from the GitLab or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might just choose to use that instead, actually.
Feel free to
Anyways, if there's no more stuff about the assignment, let's start with the lab.
Yes, put on the left rod.
Right. So, seeing as you're starting the second assignment now, we found it, and as we covered objects and models yesterday, it's sort of what this lab's about, loading objects into your scene. So yeah, instead of having to hard code your vertices within C++, you just use the standard objects. Should I go through this, or
I think that you talked about OBJ format yesterday, right?
Yeah, so yeah.
So
we
then
just
everyone should be comfortable with OBJ, right? So it rings the bell. Right. So if not, then have a look at the lecture, because that's what the lecture's for. And I think that should be fine during that. Find it out. Right.
Yeah, just scroll to the very bottom, what they should do. So you're gonna use this ASIMP, asset import library, and there's like brief overview of its hierarchy. And what you should do is like just find any module that is interesting for you. Like there are the websites in yesterday's presentation, and then you can play with it, apply different lighting and like stuff, or you can also try to do your own model in Blender or whichever software. But like if you want to be quick, you can find lots of free interesting models.
The link for that one site on Discord yesterday. So if
Casual
you want-
effects,
What?
like casual effects
yeah,
website.
Casual Effects, yeah.
Yeah.
So that link is available on Discord.
So this SM, the way it loads, right? It's already a scene graph structure, right? In a way, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually very hierarchical.
very hierarchical, right?
But that's because they sort of needed to be in order to support all the formats, because ASIP is really overkill if you just want OBJ,
Yeah.
which is in this case just what we want.
Yeah.
But ASIP also supports like all the different formats we went through, or most of the ones we went through yesterday as well. So it needs the scene to be there as well, because some of those formats supply the scene.
For none of the assignments are you constrained in choosing your own library for loading, right? So if you want to use TinyObj loader, SM, or you roll your own, you of course can do that as well, right? So, but I think it's worthwhile to at least get a bit of exposure to SM and suffer a bit. You know? So that's how learning works.
I think it's easier to write your own loader if you first use ASM, maybe.
In any case, right? Looking at something else always gives you ideas what you can improve.
In general, looking at the libraries like SDBI and the Tiny libraries is really recommended, because they're really lightweight, usually header only, and quite easy to integrate, and they only do one thing. And that's usually better than dragging in like a giant dependency where you only need like a part of it. Like the async, I downloaded the lab which uses async, and my compile time is tanked. Just because, like using async versus using TinyObj loader, when the only thing I wanted to do was to load OBJs, that sort of compilation time and complexity just wasn't worth.
You'll see that yourself in the lab, because we have async in the lab as opposed to TinyObj. Yes?
If we make an object loader ourselves for the rendering, or can we use one of those two?
Yeah, you can use
You can use that. So you're free with that.
It's,
But yeah, one
probably
thing you
advised to do
should
so, I'd say.
one thing
Anyway.
yeah, one thing that you should bear in mind when selecting the format of the objects is that, like models, is that for binary ones it's super complicated to write your own loader, so probably you will need to use async in that case for binary formats.
And if you want huge models or a lot of data in them, you saw in our Dragon file that it was already huge, so probably binary is an option you should sort of delve into if you want those kinds of things.
ASCII is slow.
Yeah.
It's also human readable though, so that's nice.
That's a
Yeah,
very
that's
very
advantage.
But just to have it showed off, the TinyObj is, as you said, one file, one header file. So if you've already set up IMGUI on in your projects, this should be just as easy to set up.
You mean GFX and IMGUI?
GFX as well. Yeah,
IMGUI
that's
is
it.
not
That's true. So you just need to have like one file with this. You need to define the implementation, and then you're set.
And there are tons of libraries out there like that. It's not only sort of SDI and TinyObj that is header only. If you like Google header only libraries for C++, then you'll get to like resource pages on GitHub, which has like tons of different header only libraries, like header only sound libraries, header only file integration libraries, all those stuff. And usually those are actually quite good, so it's worth looking into. Yeah.
Good. Questions?
Oh yeah, one point. All of you who are here right now have presented your assignment 1, right? Just to make sure. Okay.
Well, thank you very much anyway for the presentation. So it's quite it's tough to explain this complex artifact in such a short time, right? So, and especially with all the theoretical thought that has gone into it over time.
Yeah.
So, but at least, thank you very much for making the effort and kind of giving us a tentative insight into it, right? And I think if anyone has specific questions of how they did and why they did stuff, I think you're probably free to approach Halvor and Bjorn, right? To just grill them if you want to learn more about how to write an engine.
Or you can go into the project repo and go through the readme.
Oh yeah, okay. So you can't redirect you, so but yeah, either way.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll let this go.
Good.
Great.
Cool. Thank you.